Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Brandon Drums here, and in today's video I'm going to show you guys how to achieve this sound on your electronic drum kit. So as you guys just heard, it is very possible to get that sound out of your electronic drum set. And today we're talking about the Yamaha DTX 532K. It's a decent drum set. It's not the top of the line. It's a very nice drum set. You can do very much with it, and it has a lot of potential. So if you guys tweak the drum module correctly, or the way I did it, you can get this exact sound. When I first got this, I was using all the preset sounds, and they don't sound very good. They sound pretty unrealistic. They sound decent, but that's not the type of sound that I was looking for. So what I did was, I went into the module, I tweaked everything a little bit, kind of made my custom kit in this module without using any external softwares like Easy Drummer and none of that. So basically what I did was adjust the size of this drums and the cymbals. Maybe tune up the drums a little bit, tune down some of them, and do some muffling on some of them. And that's pretty much what I did, and it sounds pretty decent, so I'm just going to show you guys how to do that. Alright, so here we are on the module. I'm going to show you guys step by step on how to achieve the amazing sound that you guys just heard, and I think it sounds pretty dope. So I'm going to show you guys all the steps. It's very simple, nothing hard. So the first step, I'm going to start out with my snare. So what I'm going to do is tap on my snare. There we go, I just tapped on my snare. Now what you want to do is click this arrow right here. Alright, so here we are on the customization menu. So basically first thing you want to check is, since we wanted to start out with the snare, and I tapped on the snare, so make sure you see snare right there. If you see something else like tom or floor tom, cymbals, kick drum, that means you didn't really select the right drum that you want to customize. So basically I wanted to start out with my snare, and I'm seeing snare right there, so that's good. Now over here you can see the S right here, it's blinking, and what that S stands for is the snare. Now that S is the snare customization. So when the S is blinking and you cycle through everything, you can go to kick drum, cymbals, or the toms. So make sure you click the arrow one more time so it goes to the number option right here. There we go. Now the numbers are blinking. So that's a good sign. You're on the snare menu, and you can cycle through all the different snares. Now I have it on the second snare in this module, which is the Oak Custom Snare. I think that snare sounds the best for what I'm going for, so that's why I have it on that. But you can also do other stuff, like I think there's maple snares, birch snares, and beechwood snares, and there's all kind of snares right there. So you can do that. I want Oak Custom, so that's good for me. I'll click the arrow one more time. Now we're on the tuning. And make sure it says snare right there. And while you're doing this, you don't want to tap on anything else. You don't want to tap on any of the drums, because if you do, you can switch it up to hi-hat or kick drum, and you don't want to do that. You want to adjust the snare right now, so just make sure you don't touch your drum set, only the module. So here it says tuning. I want to tune the drum, and I have it to negative 0.75. I think that sounds the best. It has that low thumpy sound to it. So you guys can set that to whatever you want, but I have it to negative 0.75. Alright, so here's the tuning option for the snare drum. Make sure it says snare right there. Now this tuning will basically change the pitch of the drum. It's not like actual drum tuning. It just changes the pitch, not really anything else. So I have negative 0.75 on my drum. You can change it to whatever you want. But if you want that sound that you just heard in this video, make sure you have it to negative 0.75. We'll go to the next one. Alright, so here's the muffling. I have it to positive 4. Positive 4 is like basically, you know, more muffling as you go higher. Now it's positive 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, you know, it goes on and on. But I have mine to, actually it starts out at 0, so that's like when you get the full ring of the drum, but I don't want too much of the ring, so I have it set to 4. So there you go, that's 4. Next one is the volume. I have it to 109. It's not like, you know, I didn't like 110, so I set it to 109, but, you know, it doesn't really matter for me. So I have it between 105 and 110. So it doesn't really matter. If it's between there, it'll sound just like mine. Next one is the pan. Alright, so I have that set to center, and that's good. Now what I'm going to do, you don't really have to do this, but I'm going to go back to the actual kit numbers. Alright, now that I adjusted my snare drum, what I want to do now is adjust my first rack tom. So what I'm going to do is hit my first rack tom. There we go, and then hit the arrow. And there we go, it says tom 1, the first rack tom. So that's good. Now as you can see, I was talking about this earlier. Now that I'm adjusting the tom, it says T, which stands for tom. So that's good. It says tom 1, so that's good. Now I have the fourth one, the oak custom, is the high. So basically there's high, medium, and low, I think. But I have it to high because I want my first tom to have the highest pitch and volume. So what you want to do is click the arrow one more time. You just set it to oak custom high. There we go. Now here's the tuning. I have it to, you know, basically just the stock 0.0. I think that sounds pretty good. I'm not really going to mess with that. Muffling, I have it to 0. I want my toms to ring a little bit. For the volume, I have it to 105. For the pan, I have it to left 10. Alright, so now I want to adjust my second tom. So what I'm going to do is hit my second tom. There we go. And now hit the arrow. And there we go. It says tom 2. That's my second rack tom. It says T. That stands for tom. And I have my second rack tom to oak custom medium. So that's good. There we go. Now it's the tuning. I have it to 0.0. That's the, I guess, the factory tuning for this oak custom medium. And now for the muffling, I have it to 1. You might think that, you know, positive 1 doesn't do too much for the muffling, but it actually does. You can hear the difference. You know, I don't want my toms, especially my rack toms, to actually rumble too much like a floor tom, so that's why I have it to 1. Next one is volume 105. There we go. The pan is actually right 14. Now I want to adjust my floor tom, so what I'm going to do is hit my floor tom. There we go, and then now, click the arrow. Now it's tom 3. Stands for T. Yep, that's good. Now it says O Custom Low. And for my floor tom, I have the O Custom Low. There we go. For tuning, I have it to -1. You know, I want my floor tom to have that low, thumpy sound. You know. For the muffling, I have it to 3. I don't want it rumbling forever, so I have it to 3. That way, I have a little bit of control. The volume, I have it to 105. And the pan, I think I maxed it out. I have it to right 30 because I want my floor tom to, you know, I want to hear my floor tom all the way on my right side. So that's good. Alright, so now that we adjusted our snare drum, our toms, now I want to adjust my kick drum. So what I'm going to do is hit my kick drum. There we go. Alright, so for the kick drum, make sure it says kick right there. Make sure the K is right there. And I have my kick drum to O Custom 22-1. I think there's 22-2. But in my opinion, the O Custom drums in this module, they sound pretty decent and I like it. And I like the 22-1. It sounds pretty good. It's the number 2. So now what I'm going to do is go to the next page. Alright, so kick. I have the tuning to positive 3.25. I like the sound of it. I don't want my kick drum to sound too low, so you know, I want a little bit of that punchy sound too, so I have it to positive 3.25. Alright, so for the muffling I have it to 0, the volume 93, the pan, I want that in the center of the mix, and that's pretty much it for my kick drum. Alright, so now that we adjusted our drums, now I want to adjust my cymbals, and I'm going to start out with the hi-hat. So basically what you want to do is hit the hi-hat, hit the arrow, and right here it says hi-hat. The H is showing up, so that's good. So now for the hi-hat, you know, make sure it says hi-hat, H is blinking, that's good. I have it set to the dark 14:1. In my opinion, that sounds the best. It's the second hi-hat. The size is 16 inches. The 14 was a little bit too bright, so I have it to 16. The clutch is 32. The volume is 65. The pan is left 22. Now I'm going to adjust my crash cymbal. So what you want to do is hit your crash, hit the arrow, make sure it says crash right there, make sure the C is blinking, and I have the vintage 18 for my crash. The size is 20 inches. In my opinion, the 20-inch sounds the best. The sustain, I have it to positive 8. So basically how this works is when the sustain is higher, so basically when the sustain is, you know, a positive, basically what that does, it makes it ring a little longer. And if you have it to negative, it rings a little shorter. So I have it to positive 8. I want my crash to ring a little bit. I don't want it sounding too dead, so I have it to 8. The volume is 69, and the pan is left 26. Now I'm going to adjust my right cymbal. So basically what you want to do is hit the right cymbal, click the arrow. Now it's showing up ride, but it's, you know, it's still showing up C, which stands for cymbals. Now for my right cymbal, I have the dark 18:1. In my opinion, that sounds the best. It has a very clear bell sound. It sounds kind of realistic. It kind of sounds like the Meinl Vintage Pure. That sounds pretty good. So that's number 3. Size is positive 25. These are not very realistic. You know, it doesn't really mean it sounds like a 25-inch ride, but you know, that sounds the best for me. So that's why I have it to positive 25. The sustain is -1. I don't want my ride to ring out too much, so I have it to -1. The volume is 63. I don't want my ride to take over my drum set because, you know, the bell and the crash kind of sounds louder on a ride cymbal because, you know, their size. So I have it to 63. The pan is right 21, which is all the way to the right. So yeah, you know, actually these drum modules, the DTX 502s, they have a lot of potential. You just have to mess around with it. So yeah, don't be afraid to mess around with your drum module. You know, if you mess around, things can go wrong sometimes, but you know, if you mess around, you can learn some new things too. You know, make sure after you do that, you save your kit, because if you don't, you basically did that for nothing. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.